We've already talked about this a ton, but the San Antonio Spurs are without a doubt the biggest winners of the 2025 NBA offseason. They already have a guy that is generational in Victor Wembenyama. They just traded for an All-NBA point guard in De'Aaron Fox. They have the reigning Rookie of the Year with Stephon Castle, and then they have great glue guys like Harrison Barnes and many others, and then you look at guys like Kelly Olynyk and Luke Cornett, who they brought in, Carter Bryant and Dylan Harper that they've drafted. This is a squad. And I know we've been talking about the Spurs a ton this offseason, but with the preseason starting in about a week, I wanted to talk about them one last time just for good measure. Of course, they have Victor Wembenyama, the 7'4" phenom with an 8-foot wingspan that is pretty much an alien to the game of basketball. Like, he shouldn't be moving this fluidly at 7'4". Going between the legs, getting downhill. I mean, he averaged 24 and 11 last year with 3.8 blocks, shot 48% from the field, 35% from three. And something a lot of people don't remember is that he got off to a really, really slow start. There were legitimate comparisons as to Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, who was better. Like, that was a legitimate conversation not too long ago at the beginning of this season when Wemby wasn't playing up to par. Then he starts going out, dropping 50 on Washington with 6 rebounds, doing his thing, picking and popping with Chris Paul, and CP3 was such a huge piece to his development. Now, of course, Paul is gone, but still, big-time piece to Wemby's development. And then he goes into the Garden on Christmas Day. This was when the rumors and the debates were officially put to bed. This was when Wemby was crowned as the next face of the league when he dropped 42, 18, 4, and 4 on New York. Now, yes, the Spurs did lose this game, but they've only gotten better since. I mean, we've got Wemby running through on the baseline, catching and falling away into the Knicks bench, showing it and going, and then finding Sohan for the dunk. I mean, watch him attract all the attention of the Knicks defenders right here. Ball fake, gets to Sohan and gets the easy lay-in to go. And then right here, I mean, knocking it down from the K in the Knicks logo. Ridiculous range for a guy that is 7'4". And watching these Wemby highlights, Spurs fans, honestly, and just fans of the NBA in general, like myself, you can't get too excited. Well, you can get too excited, to be honest, because this is incredible stuff. We have really never seen a guy move this way at 7'4" and have the ability to not only drive and finish at the rim, drop a dime when he wants to a guy like Vassell, or pull up from beyond the hash. He's got great vision for his size, great shooting, and now he gets to play alongside of all-pro guard De'Aaron Fox, who I think is going to really surprise some people this year. Looking back at his 2023-2024 season, he had averaged 26.5 points a game, 5.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, shot 47% from the field, 37% from three on 8 attempts. It was a big-time year for De'Aaron Fox. He's now 28 years old. Last year didn't go to plan because he literally had a broken finger on his shooting hand and was playing through it, and still averaged like 24 a game last year. That's how good this dude is. Now, yes, his shooting splits were at an all-time low. But when you add him into this lineup, when you run this back from last year, this is a squad. Everybody there can play at least average defense for their position. And then you have guys like Castle and Wemby who are elite. You got Harrison Barnes, who I did throw in there because he's a fantastic glue guy at 43% from three. And then he's also about 6'7", 6'8". He can shoot the three ball. He can defend. He's a good veteran. And then off the bench, this is where everything gets better, right? Because you've got 3 new pieces off the bench, plus Keldon Johnson, who probably will be off the bench for Carter Bryant at first, and then you also add in Kelly Olynyk. So 4 new pieces off the bench, and you legitimately go 12 deep now. Plus, we haven't even talked about Stephon Castle, who was last year's Rookie of the Year, 14.5 points a game, 4 boards, 3.7 assists in 27 minutes a game, shot 43% from the field, 29% from 3 on 4 attempts. The dude is just an absolute monster, right? And he is really, really tough to guard, getting downhill, absorbing contact. He plays off 2 feet very well, but he's also 6'9", or 6'6", with a 6'9" wingspan, and weighs 215 pounds. So he's tough to knock off his path, but he's also a fantastic defender because he can play defense with his chest and slide his feet like no other. Then you look at the draft. What they did through the draft was fantastic. They bring in Dylan Harper, far and away the second best player in this class. He's got future NBA superstar written all over him. 19.5 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal in 32 minutes a game last year. Shot 48% from the field, 33% from 3, on 5.2 attempts per night. Harper is that guy. Coming into San Antonio, yes, it's a crowded point guard room, but he's going to stand out. He's 6'6", 215 pounds, so he already has the NBA frame on him. He really reminds me of Cade Cunningham with the way he navigates the pick and roll. He just doesn't shoot 40% from 3 like Cade did at Oklahoma State. And he's just an all-around hooper. He's going to be a guy that can come in and contribute to winning from day one and really help you out. This three-headed guard monster now of Fox, Castle, and Harper, all of which have come into San Antonio over the last season. And that's not even my favorite pick of the draft. Carter Bryant was when they got Carter Bryant at 14, I was like, yeah, this might legitimately be a dynasty around Victor Wembenyama because they are taking all the right steps. Now, yes, they have been blessed by the NBA draft lottery, but they bring in a 6'8" wing with a 7-foot wingspan that I thought probably should have been a top 10 pick just because of his upside. Now, yes, he averaged 6.5 points, 4 rebounds, a steal, a block, and an assist last year. The numbers don't jump off the screen at you, but you have to actually watch film, right? He averaged 19 minutes a game, not 19 points a game. He shot 46% from the field, 37% from 3 on 2.7 attempts, and in conference play, shot 48% from the field and 40% from 3 on 3 attempts per 36 minutes last year. Carter Bryant averaged 14 and 6.5 with 2 blocks and 2 steals. He is a dude, and if he does stuff like this, jab step into a pull-up 3, yeah, he's going to be dangerous at the NBA level, and I'm really surprised another team didn't take a shot on him in the top 10 just because of his archetype, right? At 6'8", and doing stuff like this, trailing a pick and roll, and being able to get the deflection. I know it's Akron, but still, they draw off the play against the zone here, and he is up top, way up top. We're talking second level. Then they bring in Kelly Olynyk, another great veteran addition, not through the draft, of course, because he's 34, or will be 34 this season, but they bring him in through trade and pretty much give up nothing to bring him in. They gave up like Blake Wesley. He's 6'11", with a 6'10 wingspan, so negative wingspan is interesting, but he can bring the ball up. He has transformed himself into a modern big where he can shoot from all 3 levels. He's mobile. He can defend a little bit. He averaged 11 and 6 last year with 3.6 assists in just 25 minutes while shooting 50% from the field and 39% from 3 on 2 attempts. Overall, Kelly Olynyk is going to really help this team out. He's going to be a ton of help to them winning basketball games, and he's going to be a ton of help to their depth because he is so versatile. He can play 2 different positions, and, when Wemby's out there, he can play on the perimeter. When it's Cornette out there, he can play on the perimeter. When neither one of them are out there, he can play down low. So he can do everything. And speaking of Cornette, he's their other addition, but they traded Brandon Wesley and a 2026 second, which is least favorable of 4 teams. So it's going to be like the 55th pick in the draft, as well as a couple former first-rounders that never really panned out in San Antonio. Not bad whatsoever. Luke Cornette, 4 years, $41 million. A little bit of an overpay, but hey, it's not that bad. Probably market value for him right now is about $8 million. You overpay a little bit, you get $10 million a year, whatever. He averaged 6 and 5 last year in 18 minutes, 67% from the field. He has been a 3-point shooter in the past, as you see at the bottom of the screen. But I think bringing him in at 7'2", behind Wemby, is just a perfect addition because of how big he is, how he can impact the game. Per 36 minutes, he averages about 12 points a game and 11 rebounds with 3 assists and 2 blocks. He's also, like we said, 7'2" and has a 7'6" wingspan that he uses to protect the rim and things of that nature. Of course, with Wembenyama, he will be backing him up, but still, Cornette is the perfect addition. I thought that was a fantastic ad. With that being said, though, that's going to be it for today's video. I know I've talked about the Spurs a ton this offseason, so bear with me for one more video. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching today's video.